Hi guys, it's Tracy with Stampin' Away with Tracy, and I want to show you how I made this pretty card using the Forever Blossoms bundle. And this is a cling stamp and a matching die set. It is in the mini catalog on page 15. If you don't have a demonstrator and you would like one, I'm happy to send you a catalog. Below, I will have a Google Drive. Just click on that link and fill it out. If you fill out your complete address, I'll send you a catalog. If you include your email address, I'll add you to my email list. And if you put your birth date, I'll send you a handmade birthday card on your birthday. And that will be listed below, along with my website and my Facebook and my email. If you have questions, don't hesitate to ever just email me. So, this is the stamp set, the cling stamp set. And this is one of the dies we're going to work with. When I got this, I was like, I'm not sure what I would do with that. This is a stem, and I'm going to show you how I used it. Now, when you get the die set, I must say that they don't come with the magnet sheets. I put my stamp sets on magnet sheets, but that doesn't come from Stampin' Up. That's something I do because it's helpful to me. So, let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we have Pool Party 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and it is scored at 5 1/2 inches from both ends, so it's scored exactly in the middle. And this is Pool Party. The next layer we have is Petal Pink. And Petal Pink is, I have my dimensions here, 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. Okay? 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. This is the Designer Series paper, Parisian Blossom Specialty Designer Series paper. It's on page 15 in the mini catalog. Look at the shimmer on that, guys. Isn't that beautiful? I hope you all can see all that beautiful shimmer on this paper. It's just beautiful. And it is 5 2/10 by, no, I'm sorry, 3 2/10 by 5 2/10. It's just a smudge smaller. Now, if you want it to show more of the petal pink, just cut your petal pink larger. That's all you have to do. So, I'm going to go ahead and adhere the Designer Series paper down to our first layer. That's the first thing that we need to do. Now, I'm using multi-purpose liquid glue. I always use that. I like to have a little wiggle room. That's why I use it. It's just, this glue just works for me. It's very economical. It's easy to use. I use a lot of glue. I do lots and lots of card projects, scrapbook pages, different projects for my channel. So this is just my glue of choice. And if you live in my area, I did order some because of what's going on, and to make sure that my customers would have adhesive. So if you live in my area, which is in Ashland, Kentucky, just contact me and I have some adhesive. Okay, that's our first layer. Now the next thing that we're going to do with our layer is, this is what I cut out with this die. It's this die, and I cut this out. And when I first saw this die, I was like, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure what I would use it for, but you put your flowers on it. It's so pretty. Let me show you. So we're going to go ahead and adhere this down. And it just takes a little bit of the multi-purpose glue. I just barely squeeze it and just get just a tad on there. And I just put it at the joints there where the leaves or where the tree is branching off, because I'm going to adhere everything else down with the flowers. So you want to put it right here. You can actually put it anywhere. I mean, now that is where we're going to put the flowers. Now the next thing we want to do, the next step, is you want to take your Petal Pink, and this has the metallic edge to it. It is also on page 15. Petal Pink, it's 1/4 of an inch. Look how pretty that is. And it has such a shimmer. It matches the paper so beautifully. Okay, so we're going to put this on here, and we're just going to tie a knot. I really felt like that a bow was just too much. Just didn't need a bow. So we're going to go ahead and just tie this in a knot. And I wanted it on the side. So I'm going to tie a knot. Okay. There we go. Now, I want to move it up just a smudge. And that tied a really pretty knot. Now, just cut off your edges, the little limbs that are too long. And I save those. I keep them in a bowl and I use them on other projects. So, want to put it just where we want it. Right there. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to put our sentiment. And we're using the sentiment from the Forever Blossoms, wishing you a lifelong together filled with love and promise. I have some weddings, so I thought this would be perfect. So get your Memento Black ink out. It is your Tuxedo Black. And tap, tap. And there you go. Now, the punch I decided on this project was the Label Me Lovely. This is actually in the mini catalog. And I've gotten a lot of use out of this one. I really like it. Okay, so it needs to be cut just a little bit because I put it too far, stamped it too far up on the edge, but that's not a problem. Just cut off the bottom just a tiny bit. There it goes. It just slides right in. Now, when you're stamping something, first you stamp it upside down like I'm doing it, turn the punch upside down, and you can actually press this to where it holds the paper firmly but doesn't cut it, just so you can line it up well. There we go. And there it goes. And it didn't punch. I'm not sure what I did wrong. So let's try it again. You just line it up. There we go. So we just take it out. And it's punched. So, I messed up the ink on that, so I'm just going to try it again. Sorry about that, guys. I just messed the ink up with my finger. There we go. Easy mistake. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our petal pink and we're just going to punch out the petal pink. Now, what we're going to do with that petal pink is we're going to cut it in half. Just cut it in half with your paper snips. I'm going to go ahead and put the ink back on, lid back on my Memento. And we're going to get some of the multi-purpose glue and we're going to put a little glue here. I'm going to show you how to kind of stretch your dollars on your stamps and your punches. See that? It just gives it a little bit of color around the pool party. Just adds a little something. It's just another layer on your card, which is what really, and on your paper crafting projects, it's really what counts, is just the little layers you add. Just the little extra touches. Isn't that pretty? And you can cut it either way. Because on my card, I cut it the other way. You can do it on either way. Let me show you the card. if I can find it, you'd think. Here's one of the cards I made, and I did the petal pink across the top, and on this one, I did it on the sides. So it doesn't matter. Either way is correct. Here's another example. I did it on the top, and this one I did it on the sides. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to adhere our layer to our cardstock base. So let's go ahead and put some multi-purpose glue on it. Okay. We're going to add it. Now this is going to go off center. This is not going to go in the middle. That's just because that's what I wanted. If you don't like that, that's not a problem at all. Put it wherever you want it, but I put mine off center. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some multi-purpose glue on my sentiment. And I'm going to adhere my sentiment down because I want to put my flowers around it. Got a little bit of glue on my finger. Okay. So, isn't that pretty? Now, the next thing we're going to do is we have this is the stamp here that we used for the flower. And it's actually in the Forever Blossoms. It's right here. And I stamped it on petal pink with black, tuxedo black memento. What I want to do is soften these petals a little bit. So get out your bone folder, and I know mine's gross, and I'm not sure how it got so dirty. And just curl your petals gently. It breaks down the fibers in the cardstock, so it gives it a little softer look and a little more dimension to your project. So this would be fantastic on a scrapbook page also. So soften your petals a little bit is what I did. Doesn't take long. It's really quick, but adds a lot to your project. Gives it a little softer look. The petals are a little bit curled, so it just adds some interest to your project that is really kind of noticeable and really pretty. And I think you'll be happy with that. And you could curl the petals of any project or any kind of flower you're working with if you wanted to. It's not a problem. It's easy and it's very quick. Now I'm using my left hand because I'm a lefty, and I've told you all that. So you'll use your right. I hope that that's not too difficult, because I know when I look on YouTube and they're doing it with their right, I have to kind of think about it a little bit, because I am a definite true lefty. So we're about done here. I wanted to do 6 flowers. Now, you could put more on here if you wanted to, once you get your project going and you look at it and see. But I thought 6 was good for me. Usually I use odd numbers, but for some reason 6 looked really good. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is, some of these I popped up with dimensions and some I did not. This one, I'm going to start with popping some up. And you just peel the black off. It's easy peasy. Just takes a second. And see this right here? That's where I'm going to put my first flower. Right there. Then I'm going to take my second one, and I'm not going to pop it up. I'm going to put some glue on the back. And I'm just going to slide it under just a little bit like that and put it down. And see how where we broke down some of the fibers, you can tell. Let me show you. Here's one that is not been done, and here's one who has. You can definitely tell the difference. This one looks a little softer, that's not as stiff. So I really like that look. So this one's going to go down too. And we're going to put it on just the petal. See the petal there? We're just going to slide it on there. Hold it down for just a second. And see that little grouping? Isn't that pretty? So, the next one I'm going to pop up. Really, this is personal preference. It's whatever you like, whatever you think looks good. There's no right or wrong way with creation, any of your creations. They're just kind of what you like. Sometimes I make a card for the people I'm making it for. Sometimes I have a certain friend or a certain someone involved in it, and I do that. So I think I'm going to pop another one up. I don't even know if I did on the last card up or not. The other card I made a couple of these for wedding cards that I've needed, and I thought, well, somebody else might need some wedding cards, some good ideas. So that's basically what I've been doing with this one, with this card. And we've all kind of been stuck at home, so I just thought you might be interested. Now, don't forget, if you would like to receive my emails, fill out the link below. And I'm happy to, I need one more. I'll be happy to add you. The new annual catalog is coming out in June 2020. I'm happy to send you one if you don't have a demonstrator. Click on the link below and fill that out, and I'm happy to get one out to you. They will not come out until May, but I can get it to you just as soon as I get it. So, and this one I'm going to go flat because I wanted it to go under. See how I put that under there? Okay, now I think the crowning glory on this card is pearls. So get out your, take a pick tool, really easy. And we're just going to add pearls to these, and it makes all the difference in this card. Love it. Just easy to put on. It's just adds so much to it. I think the basic pearls embellishments are so nice. Also want to tell you all right now is the end of year sale. Last chance sale on the Stampin' Up! Website. I'll have my website below. Check it out. There's lots and lots of good buys. The clearance rack also has some good buys. I always tell people when you order, look at the clearance rack before you check out your order. Sometimes you can add embellishments and it doesn't add to your shipping. And they're so inexpensive, it's crazy. So I always encourage people to check out the clearance rack before when they're placing an order, just to make sure there's nothing on there that is something that they're interested in. Because even if it's retired, the color still might be current, which you can get things to match it. So, there we go, guys. What do you think? I love it. Please let me know what you think down in the comments. I appreciate each and every one of you taking time. Don't forget to like and subscribe at my channel. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.